Hi, my name is CHIMENE, and today I'll be talking to you about EMU. The EMU is an online platform that allows Australian businesses to sell their products to Chinese consumers through the use of the Tmall website in China. So the stakeholder group that this pitch will be targeting is investors to help them understand how small Australian businesses and governments can benefit in order to get government grants and to recruit Australian businesses to the platform. And the rest is in italics for the learning facilitator. The purpose and our mission is basically we have two target consumers, and that is B2B and B2C. For B2B, it's about recruiting Australian businesses and taking their products into the Chinese market. Basically, for these businesses, it's all about creating opportunity for them. And for B2C, it's about sharing Aussie ingenuity with the world, and that is by allowing Chinese consumers to explore Australian products and be able to do so in an easy way. So the team is currently made up of just myself. My name is CHIMENE, and I'm also the owner of Creme Relief. So Creme Relief is an eczema cream that's made and owned in Australia, and we have been trying to penetrate the Chinese market for about 6 months, and this is where the EMU idea came up. Currently, I'm studying a degree in business and public relations, learning how to market my product to different types of consumers, and like I said, currently going through the process of taking the product to China so I understand exactly what it takes to have this business up and running. So the market size and growth actually present the opportunity here. Basically, the rate of Australian products being shipped to China at the moment have grown over in beauty and cosmetics and health have grown over 60% in the last year alone, and that is due to the high demand for Australian products in China. Basically, this is where the opportunity has arisen, as there are so many fake Australian products or so-called Australian made and Australian owned that are going to China, and the Chinese consumers are not actually able to determine which ones are actually Australian made and which ones are fakes. And navigating through massive Chinese platforms such as Tmall has proven to be quite difficult for both the consumer and also small businesses. So this is where the opportunity comes in, finding and streamlining a process in order to make it safe and attainable for both sides. So the value proposition for Australian businesses, basically it's allowing them to do something they can't do on their own, or something that is very difficult to do on their own. In order to take a product into China, you need quite a bit of money backing you up, and you also need your own address in China for returns and an offshore bank account, and you need to really understand how to target this consumer when it comes to promotion. So the value here for the Australian business is they give us the product, we do all the hard work for them, and we get a small percentage of their sales. And for the Australian government and economy, basically it's a way to boost the economy using exports. With mining and like coal mining coming to an end, the government is always trying to find new revenue streams. This would be great for the economy and great as another revenue stream for Australia. And for the Chinese consumer, basically it's an easy way to navigate the market and understand which products are verified and being able to get products that aren't just big Australian names, but also small products that when they came to Australia they fell in love with, but nobody is selling them internationally. So through the market research we have conducted, we have been able to talk to some small Australian businesses and better understand whether they would use the EMU service. And this is what they've had to say.
Hi, I'm Suzanne. I'm the founder of Creme Relief, a specialty range of skin products for people suffering from eczema and dermatitis.
popular product, as I said. It's basically a beauty product, and it's an industry that is booming. And if I could have introduced this to the Asian market or outside of Australia, I definitely would have.
Launched our new eyebrow and lash enhancers online, and because we are uni students, we don't really have much time to market and sell worldwide.
Definitely, I think if EMU has that wide exposure in the Chinese market, I definitely think EMU is the right service for me.
I would definitely use the EMU service to reach a wider customer base. So big thumbs up from me.
Big thumbs up from us.
That's basically a summary of a couple of Australian businesses saying that they would actually benefit from the EMU service. So basically the strategy for EMU is first to recruit businesses in Australia. Being able to develop the brand here and having trust within Australian businesses is also going to help later on with the Chinese consumer and gaining trust with them, as they want iconic Aussie products and products that are trusted by Australians. So being able to recruit Australian businesses, because without them we wouldn't actually have a product to be selling either. So trying to approach them and help them understand the value of using EMU as opposed to other competitors. That is the number one approach for us. Then secondly would be obtaining the online platform in China. So Tmall has very strict regulations, and there are quite a few things that you need, and one of them is backing from products. So having a large bank of Australian products and businesses that are willing to use EMU will help us obtaining the platform, and that is why that is the second part of the strategy. And last but definitely not least is the promotion in China. For the Chinese consumer, being able to target them means being able to trust you. So targeting them in a way where it's not so sudden, but it's also through the use of their own platforms and through their own celebrities, and just being able to gain that trust and really understand the Chinese consumer. That's the last part of our strategy, because once we've got the platform and the businesses, then we really need to be promoting to the Chinese consumer, and they are very different than Australian consumers. There are quite a few revenue streams that we've proposed for EMU. A lot of the percentages and the figures are actually based on what our competitors are asking for, and they're actually a little bit cheaper as well. So the initial fee for Australian suppliers, which is $1,000 to start up with us, and that just covers all the marketing and getting them set up in the systems. And then if they have more than one product that they're wanting to sell, it's number 2 is the additional fee per item they add. Then it's commission from Chinese consumers. It's been shown that Chinese consumers are willing to pay a premium price for verified and genuine products. So this is why this percentage has been added. And commission from the Australian supplier, so through sales that they make, we get a small percentage. And then extra marketing fees if they have a special promotion or they want to appear first on our website. That's an additional cost. Then consultation services, educational events and networking events, bringing small businesses together and charging for those events and any consultation services. There are a couple of entry barriers to get into this market, and basically there's a high threat of substitutes. There are quite a few ways for Chinese consumers to obtain these products, whether it's themselves coming here or having a relative sending it to them, but also for Australian businesses, there are a couple of competitors that are trying to help them take their products overseas as well. New entrants, this market is such a big market that there are so many people trying to penetrate it at the moment, as there's been a massive trend for exporting beauty and health products from Australia to China. To overcome this, we have wanting to establish EMU as the trusted brand, the first brand, and all genuine and verified, not just a big platform where you can buy anything. It has to be genuine, verified products. And then gaining buyers' trust in China. That is going to be a difficult process, and that is why we are planning to hire Chinese liaisons and marketing companies, and just really understanding the consumer there and building the trust up slowly with them. Now, in terms of competitors, we have a couple of competitors, but none of them are approaching a full service like EMU. Diago's, to start off with, are quite unstable, and the problem with them is there's no supply and demand. So Diago's are just general public Chinese people that are living in Australia or are visiting Australia, going into supermarkets, buying products, and then taking it back with them or sending it to the consumers in China. The problem is companies can't actually predict demand when this happens, and there's also a lot of fakes and a lot of tampering with products, so it's not safe. Australia Post is helping consumers ship their products to China. However, this is only a small part of the service, and it doesn't really provide a full service. Export to China seeks to teach businesses how to export their products to China, but doesn't really provide them with any other services. So that pretty much sums up why EMU is in the game and where the opportunity is. Basically, it's all about helping small businesses penetrate the Chinese market and giving Chinese consumers a safe way to purchase Australian products. Thank you very much.